we have been hearing about blockchain, cryptocurrency, Web3 for a while. And I think it's about time that we discuss this industry. So with us today is no other than the head of Gcash Crypto, Mr. Luis Buenaventura.
Hey everyone.
Ayun. So, we'll be asking him some questions about the scene, about the industry, and then at the same time, for you guys to also understand what is the blockchain what is blockchain itself, what is Web3, and then of course, what are the opportunities, the career opportunities that they can expect. So, Luis, I'll go straight to the point.
Sure.
Let's first define for you on a very layman's term, what is blockchain?
Well, okay, so this is actually one of the biggest challenges of my job, diba? How do you
Yeah.
actually introduce this stuff? So the way that I try to make it something that we can relate to, I'll ask you some questions first.
Sure.
So, magkano ang pamasahe ngayon?
Okay.
Basic pamasahe. 13
Yeah,
pesos.
13 pesos.
Do you remember what it was when you were a student? When you were in college? Kunwari?
7, 6, mga ganyan.
So you're young actually. Okay, I think you kind of revealed your age.
Okay.
Kasi I'll reveal my age. When I was in college, it was 250.
Okay.
250 for the first 5 kilometers.
Okay.
Okay, so this was in the year 2001.
Okay.
Ngayon, it's 2024, of
Yeah.
course, 13 pesos. Yung 13 pesos na yun will only cover you for the first 4 kilometers. So,
Correct.
the way that we can describe this mathematically is, over the last 20 years, the price of yung jeepney fare natin has gone up 5x. Now, super important, magkano yung minimum wage natin ngayon versus 20 years ago? Ngayon, it is 570 here in Metro Manila, 570 pesos. Back then, it was 250 pesos.
Okay.
So, let's think about this, no? Back then, yung pamasahe mo was 250 pesos, and then the minimum wage was 250. So, 1% of your of your sweldo was pamasahe.
Okay.
Kayang
Okay.
i-cover. Pero ngayon, dumoble nga yung sweldo natin, pero yung cost ng mga bilihin natin, yung mga pamasahe natin, whatever, all of our costs have gone up 5 times.
Yeah.
So there's something wrong with that, no? And then whenever I tell people this story, they're like, they usually react na parang, hindi, ganun lang kasi talaga yun eh. That's just how money works. But that doesn't sound right, no? But like, para saan pa yung mga advice ng parents natin for us na mag-ipon ka, don't spend your money, keep it in the bank.
Correct.
But what's the point of keeping it in the bank if the value of my money is eroding over time and I can no longer afford the same things that I used to be able to afford, maybe 10 years, maybe 20 years ago. So, in that context was Bitcoin created.
Okay.
Parang the idea was maybe we can design a better form of money that is better than the one that we currently have. And I think historically speaking, we already know that the one that we currently have, not so great. It doesn't reward you for saving it. So the idea is that maybe we can design a money that does not use humans to make any monetary decisions. Yung pera natin, the Philippine peso, the US dollar, the Japanese yen, all of these currencies, they are governed by humans.
Correct.
There are people making
Correct.
decisions, right? Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies are not like that.
Okay.
The only thing that is making those decisions is math.
Okay.
So do you trust math more than humans? That's the question, no? And your answer might not be yes, pero it is an alternative. And that is the main reason why Bitcoin exists. We
Okay.
want to have an alternative to the money that we already have. So what have I been doing over the last 10 years? I've been trying to educate people that, this is something that you can learn. It is something that you can get into safely. I mean, syempre, there are
Yeah.
ways you can get into it dangerously
Yeah,
then. May
yeah.
mga scams out there. But I always have to start with, why does it exist in the first place? Why does Bitcoin exist in the first place? Why is it worth your time
Correct.
to learn? Kasi if you can't answer that question, parang mahirap eh. Di ba?
Yeah.
Parang then it just becomes a conversation of, okay mo mag-invest dyan,
Yeah,
yayaman
yeah.
ba ako? And that might not be the correct angle eh. The correct angle is, if you have nothing but Philippine peso, yun sigurado kung hindi ka yayaman eh. Kasi hindi
Yeah.
naman nag-appreciate over time yun. It gets lower.
Yeah.
It gets less. And that's it. That's
Yeah.
that's the
Okay.
bottom line for
I
me.
mean, this is also a one way for our audience to understand maybe like a cryptocurrency 101 na rin. So for
Yeah.
them to also realize that
Yeah.
there are new opportunities out there.
Yes.
And of course, not
Exactly.
just on the investment perspective, but opportunities as well, careers as well.
Right.
Okay, so we're done with the concept of blockchain, cryptocurrency. But how about Web3? So what's the difference? Kasi we've been hearing about Web 1 or
Yeah,
Web
yeah,
2,
yeah.
and now what's Web 3? What's the difference?
So, this is a very, very fast evolving industry. No?
Yeah.
So when I was starting, we just called this industry the Bitcoin industry kasi
Okay.
wala pang ibang cryptocurrencies eh. And then, over time, nagkaroon na ng maraming ibang cryptocurrencies and then we started calling it the blockchain industry. Yung blockchain kasi, yun yung technology that is parang the underlying foundation of all of these cryptos. They are built on top of a blockchain. Ngayon, I think in 2020 was when we first started calling it the Web3 industry naman. Web3 is this idea that yung blockchain na yun kasi, hindi lang naman pera yung pwede mong ilagay sa kanya. Hindi lang naman yung mga cryptocurrencies yung pwedeng tumira dun sa blockchain. You can actually put literally anything. Yung mga properties natin pwedeng nandun. I guess yung resibo ng mga properties natin. So our proof of ownership of things can be on the blockchain. So in order to make that more a general term, we decided to call it Web3.
Yeah.
Yung pangatlong version ng web where we have true ownership of the things that we have.
Yeah.
So and we can describe that on the blockchain. So malaki yung definition natin of Web3. That includes things like games, that includes things like interest-bearing savings instruments, that includes trading platforms, all of those things. No? So, and the thing I'll also mention there is it's definitely evolving fast. Like every few months, I'm reading about some new project or idea that is now becoming part of Web3 also. So that's why I struggle with the definition kasi nag-iiba siya as time goes on. But if you want to be safe in your definition, it is all of these new internet technologies that are built on top of blockchain.
Okay.
That is Web3. And literally, the sky is the limit kasi about the things that you can build on the blockchain. So parang kang gumagawa ng pangatlong internet, which is literally why the name is Web3.
Okay. So I mean, the reason why we ask all these questions because cryptocurrency, Web3, blockchain, this will be vital in the next coming questions we'll be asking.
Sure.
But let's go first with the blockchain side. Today we can say after the fourth Bitcoin halving. So we can say that a lot of cryptocurrency or blockchain projects, blockchain related projects are also, like, you can say it's creating noise once more.
Yes. Sure.
So and of course as part of our topic for today, what do you think are the industries or the job opportunities that vital for the blockchain scene?
Okay. So we always say this joke na pag napasok ka na sa crypto industry, nagiging sideline mo yung economics. Because you start to get an appreciation for how economics works, how trading works, how money works, ganon. So lahat kami nagiging economics experts bigla in order to fully appreciate crypto, no? What are the jobs that you can find in this industry? If you start thinking about it kasi like the internet itself, basically there are versions of nearly every job.
Correct.
In the blockchain industry. So if you want to go into marketing, there is marketing for crypto projects. If you want to be a professional gamer, meron din tayo mga esports in cryptocurrencies na yung mga games na very serious yung competition. If you want to be like me na I'm a bit of a trader or an investor, meron din, of course, kasi yun nga yung pinaka-popular. If you want to be a broker or an agent, maraming ganun di ba? So basically, every job that we can think of, writers din.
Yeah.
Lots of writers, educators, di ba? People who spend their time explaining these concepts to people. So again, nearly every job that you can think of, merong version yan for crypto. But the bottom line is you need to understand crypto first in order to be part of this industry.
That's also giving people the extra time for them to research more about the industry, about the scene itself, because let's just say, by the time that AI I mean, ChatGPT was introduced to the world,
Yep.
that was very, what, 2020, 2021.
Yep.
AI has been existing for some time, but it was somehow created hype
Yeah.
in the tech world that, hey, there's this new thing called ChatGPT.
Yep.
But without us knowing, even AI, it's been also been using blockchain, or some of the
Yeah,
technology
yeah.
is been using blockchain. So I mean, people should also understand this kind of concept. But and you've been in the scene for some time.
Yeah.
And I think you're one of those that have initially introduced NFT here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
So let's also help to understand our audience. What's NFT, and what are the opportunities? Let's say I want to take that route when it comes to my career.
Yeah.
So
So, okay. Remember when I was saying that the blockchain kasi ano yan eh, marami kang pwedeng gawin
Yeah.
on top of that, no? So, one of the things you can do with the blockchain is you can put a proof of ownership there. So, let's say, to make it a little bit more practical, pag bumili ka ng kotse, meron tayong tinatawag na ORCR.
Okay.
That is the proof to everyone na ikaw nga yung may-ari ng kotse na yun. Kung
Okay.
dala-dala mo yun, kung nasa pangalan mo,
Yeah.
and it matches the car that you're driving, then you are the rightful owner. Ngayon, NFTs, the NFT technology was meant to be like that, but it was meant to be a receipt. Para siyang general receipt for anything.
Okay.
Okay? So theoretically, I can imagine a future where yung mga ORCR natin are NFTs on the blockchain. Ngayon, pag binenta mo yung kotse mo to someone else, kunwari binenta mo sa akin, ililipat mo yung NFT ng
Yeah.
kotse mo to me, to my wallet, and then now that is the proof
Okay.
na nangyari yung transaction. Ngayon, we're not at that point yet where you can apply the NFT receipt
Yeah.
to cars or
Yeah.
land. We're not there yet eh. But what they did instead was they applied it to digital art.
Okay.
So ngayon, yung mga digital
Initially, yeah.
initially. And the reason for that is because digital art is quite easy to
Yeah,
move
yeah.
around, eh, 'di ba?
Yeah.
I mean, digital nga eh, 'di ba? So wala kang kailangan i-deliver, ganon. It's just simpler. So suddenly nagkaroon ng industry of digital artists na yung binebenta nilang work are NFTs.
Okay.
And then when you buy that, the NFT is moved from the wallet of the artist to the wallet of the buyer. And this industry became very, very popular. And possibly one of the reasons for that is because until that moment, digital artists were not taken very seriously. Iba yung dating pag oil painter ka or watercolor painter ka versus someone who works with tablet or a computer,
Yeah.
'di ba? Parang hindi as
Yeah.
serious, 'di ba?
Yeah.
And then suddenly, na-elevate yung status ng mga digital artists. So they suddenly became the same value
Yeah.
as these oil painters
Yeah.
or other types of artists. Nauso yun in 2020 and then it hit its peak in 2021. No? And for a time, I think the statistic was nearly 30% of all the art sales that year was NFTs. And that was kind of incredible, no? Hindi makapaniwala yung mga tao. But because of that, ang daming artists na pumasok in this industry because we have way more digital artists in the world
Correct.
than any other type of artist. Why? Because you only have to pay for that iPad once, eh. Yung mga oil painters, every work,
Yeah.
they have to buy new paints, new canvases, you know, nauubos yung mga brushes nila, all of that stuff. Ito kasi isang single investment, so you can just make as many pieces as you want. So it's very democratized.
Yeah.
It helped a lot of young artists who had never sold their work before. Now they could.
Yeah.
And I'm still very hopeful na yun yung magiging long-term impact ng NFTs, at least in the context of art. No? I hope that it will make the new generation of artists more likely to be able to earn from their art.
Yeah.
The biggest problem with art naman kasi is that for many people, it's a passion, it's a hobby, pero mahirap pagkakitaan.
Yeah.
Diba? So, ayun, yun yung that's the one thing that that NFT has currently solved.
Okay.
Syempre, we're hopeful that eventually you'll have other things that it can be attached to.
Yeah.
But yun nga yung as you get bigger and bigger, kunwari, using my car example, kung gusto mo magkaroon ng NFT na OR para sa kotse, may mga regulatory and government integrations na hindi mo basta-basta magagawa eh. Whereas with digital art, wala kang kasing ganun na challenge.
Yeah.
Art is just art, right? So, ayun, that's the reason why nauna siya sa art.
Okay.
Kasi mas madali ma-embrace yung mga bagong technologies doon. Pero pag ano na, real estate na,
Yeah.
I mean, gobyerno na yan. So you
Yeah.
have to kind of convince them first na secure to, ganun.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So anyway, it's a different challenge.
I mean, the starting point
Yes,
for
it's
NFTs.
like the starting point.
Well,
Correct.
kasi the reason why I also asked, because there was some time that Axie Infinity became a very
Yeah.
popular
Yes.
game here in the
Yeah, yeah,
Philippines
yeah.
and a source of income.
Yes.
And people are talking about it's an NFT.
Yes.
So I mean, it's like also part of the evolution already, correct?
Right.
Of NFT.
Correct.
So
yung when we said that NFTs can be associated with anything, so pwedeng art, pwedeng game characters, which is what happened with Axie Infinity. So ang nangyari doon is yung game characters themselves pwede mong bilhin. So that was the idea there. And it worked for a time, no? And I think naging challenge lang naman kasi doon is na yung kinikita ng mga tao was also cryptocurrencies.
correct.
And because of that, because there were so many people earning, bumababa yung value ng cryptocurrency
Yeah.
to the point na hindi na siya ganun ka-valuable.
Yeah.
And that was kind of unfortunate, no? But these things kasi, I guess that this is part of the inherent risk of investing in very young ideas. Web3 and the crypto industry, it is full of these young, interesting
Yeah.
ideas. Not all of them will pan out. Some of them will do really well, but some of them will also fail.
Yeah.
With Axie Infinity, we're not quite sure which is which, because honestly, bumagsak nga siya. But now, as far as I know, there's still several 100,000 Filipinos playing it.
Correct.
So parang maybe the game itself was good enough to survive even without the earning part of it, diba? Kasi as far as I know, you can't earn from the original game anymore. Pero nilalaro pa rin siya.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
guess it was a fun game anyway.
Yeah, and there was also an evolution from the developers themselves.
Correct,
I mean,
correct.
they also saw the opportunity that we can enter in the NFT gaming scene. The developers themselves, it also created an opportunity for them to maximize the NFT gaming scene.
Yeah.
So, and today, it's a lot of their games are being adopted by a lot of Filipino gamers.
Yeah.
So, and of course, as what we're saying, the more opportunities, the more career opportunities as well for a lot of people who are in the traditional gaming scene in their respective careers, slowly they're going towards the concept of NFT or blockchain.
Yeah.
Wherein nag-evolve na nga through time yung mismong careers nila. I
Yeah.
mean, so the reason why we're talking about this kind of stuff is because we cannot stop the evolution of technology.
Yes.
Correct. So that's why things like this, our audience should also understand that they also need to adapt. They also need to upskill.
Yeah.
So maybe let's go on the upskilling part.
Sure.
So when it comes to all of this evolution, what can you recommend when it comes to them preparing themselves in the rise once more of the blockchain technology or NFT cryptocurrency per se?
Sige, so I usually recommend 2 steps. No? The first is try to get a good overview of what is out there. Marami kasing sectors yan. So again, when we say Web3, we actually talk about, it's kind of like as big as the web itself. So maraming iba-ibang aspeto, marami siyang mga ibang sectors. There's the games, there's the art side, there's trading, there's investing, there's all sorts of engineering. So it's very interesting and very large. No? So try to get a good overview first, and then pick the place that you are most interested in.
Okay.
Kasi the thing is, no one has time to learn all of it.
Correct,
So what
correct.
you want to do is look for one area that you want to go down deep.
Correct.
And I think that what you'll find when you go down deep in one area is ang dami pala niyang layers.
Yeah.
No? And there's many different opportunities for you to earn from it. There's many different opportunities for you to participate and contribute and ideally make a profit. No? But you will not know that kung nasa overview ka lang.
Yeah.
Yung overview is purely para lang makita mo kung gaano kalaki yung landscape, no? But you have to go deep. So, if you like the games part, then stay with the games muna.
Okay.
Right? Spend your first couple of years just in the games industry. If you like the investing or trading part, pwedeng dun lang muna. And then you'll find opportunities within each of those areas kasi. Ayun, and I think that's the most effective way to do it. it's not gonna work if you just stay at the surface.
Okay. Okay.
But it's also not gonna work if you stay at the surface and then you try to find
Yeah.
all of these different, yung parang sabay-sabay.
Yeah.
It's too much ma-overwhelm ka.
Okay.
Unless full-time job mo na
Yeah.
yun. But then, I guess the premise is wala ka pa nga full-time job in
Yeah.
the industry, diba? So nag-uumpisa ka pa lang So yeah, just pick one place.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we asked about the upskilling part. How about maybe communities that they can first join with when it comes to learning all of this stuff?
Yeah.
So what are your recommendations, or what
Yeah.
should be their first
So,
steps?
so the nice thing about the Web3 industry, in general, the good communities are all free to join
Yeah.
naman So, walang mawawala sa'yo if you just join as many as you find. I like, so I spend a lot of my time on Facebook kasi nandun most of the Filipino users. No?
Correct.
So, if you start from my page, you'll usually find a lot of other people. Yung mga leaders of communities are usually amongst the people who comment or interact, ganon. So, you could start there. There's the Crypto PH community.
Okay.
There's the Pinoy Crypto Community Facebook page.
Yeah.
Marami Sobrang dami niya talaga There are more focused communities depending on which of those segments you want to go to. So there's definitely one for gamers, definitely one for traders. Actually, more than one for traders, like
Correct.
many trading communities. Hindi ka mawawala ng choices. That's the okay lang naman to join. But I think I will probably recommend na always take what you hear with a grain of salt. When you hear someone say something with a lot of confidence, double check it.
Okay.
I've always found that the people that are loudest are the ones that have opinions that are actually not that great, to be
Okay,
honest. Kasi
okay.
ang dali
Yeah.
kasi maging mayabang
Yes.
And
yes.
then I find that it's very dangerous when people say something with so much certainty. Na parang the example that you will see a lot of is they'll say, "Uy, mag-invest ka dito sa token na to, siguradong 10x yan."
Okay.
10x as in magte-10x yung pera mo. And it's like whenever I hear someone say that, I was thinking, oh my God, okay, this is not gonna end well. And I have such a high degree of skepticism na tumataas actually yung skepticism ko the longer I've been in this industry.
Okay.
Because I know that there's a lot of promises and there are a lot of ideas that fail.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of projects that look like they were gonna do well in the beginning and,
And then
then hindi
failed.
pa rin
Okay.
diba?
Yeah.
Ganon. So, mataas yung degree of doubt ko.
Yeah.
And I think that's healthy. And you should also start with
Correct.
that, a certain amount of doubt. Because you want to double check everything that you hear. One of my favorite quotes in the crypto industry is, don't trust, verify.
Okay.
Right? So double check what you hear, triple check what you
Yeah.
hear. Especially kung pera mo na yung pinag-iisipan. Like, if you're gonna put your hard-earned money into this industry, you better be sure, right?
Correct.
So if you're not sure, konti lang muna.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I will advocate for small moves. Small moves, small mistakes. That's another
Yeah.
quote that I really like. So
Yeah. Sabi nga natin in the crypto community, one of the terminologies Dior, no? So
Dior, yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So do your own research.
Yes.
A lot of research before you enter. I mean, not just you enter in a certain investment, or if you treat your cryptocurrency as an investment. At this point, at this part, more of like if you want to take the cryptocurrency or blockchain as a path for your career, no? So research muna.
Yeah,
Research
of course.
muna. So again, Luis, we're about to end our session for today. So for starters, let's say those who want to start in the industry, what can you recommend to them, or saan ba sila magsisimula, or maybe some piece of advice before they enter in the industry?
Well, okay. So one of the most effective things for me is pick a small amount of money that is okay for you to experiment with. It could be as small as 500 pesos. Or I mean, I don't know how much money people have available now, but it depends on you. Whatever your amount of money is that you are comfortable playing around with or experimenting with. and then just buy your first cryptocurrency with it. It will probably be Bitcoin because that's the safest, that's the best investment. And then I think that you'll start to get a feel for it as soon as you own a little bit. Na parang, okay, so ganito pala yung feeling nun.
Yeah.
Na parang, okay, sometimes mataas siya, sometimes bumababa siya. And maybe the longer that you hold on to it, makikita mo na tumataas nga siya over time. And obviously, knock on wood, I hope that that's what happens
Yeah.
for all of us. And then, I consider it one of my biggest contributions to the community. Na I spend a lot of time talking with beginners. So if you want to follow me on Facebook, you can do that. You can definitely just leave comments on any of my posts, and I'll try to answer. I always try to answer as many of those questions as I can. And then, if you have a very specific question, like, kunwari, where do I go to learn more about this? I can
Correct.
usually point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you want to do that, that's my Facebook page. You just look for Hello Luis or Luis Buenaventura. Please don't follow the ones na walang check mark kasi
Okay.
those are
They're-
probably
yes.
fake accounts.
Okay.
I'm very willing to help people with advice or recommendations, and I'll also never ask for money. So that's another guarantee. So there you go.
Okay. So, yes, there you have it, our audience for today. Thank you so much, Luis, for joining us. And yeah, this is Floy Coco. We'll see you in the next sessions.